So, who else? Who said the Packers were going to lose? Who said the Packers were going to lose against the Jets by 3 scores? Who said the Packers were going to lose to the Commanders? Green Bay Packers are a bottom 5 football team. Aaron Rodgers is looking horrible. Averaged 5 yards of completion yesterday. Had 61 yards halfway through the third quarter. Their rushing attack, 38 total yards on the ground. Aaron Jones, fantasy-wise, love it. 9 catches, 53 yards, 2 touchdowns. Love it. The Packers are horrible. The Packers are bottom 3rd in almost every offensive statistical category. Points, yards, passing yards, rushing yards. This team doesn't do anything particularly well. And it'd be one thing if they're going against difficult opponents. They barely beat the Patriots in overtime. We'll see how the Patriots look at the time of watching this Monday. They play the Bears tonight. Probably going to win that. But Patriots themselves also had a pretty easy slate of games. Packers weren't playing the Chiefs. Packers weren't even playing the 49ers, who I really like, but we've seen struggle in the last 2 weeks. They played the Jets, who are so Breece Hall dependent and are now going to have to face the reality of being without Breece Hall. And they played the Washington Commanders. Washington Commanders, I don't know how they won that game last week against the Bears. Somebody had to win it, I guess. So there's that. Just somebody had to win. It wasn't anything spectacular. Just somebody had to win. But watching that Packers game, it's worse. It was worse than the scoreline indicates. 23-21, only a 3-point loss on the road. They couldn't move the ball in the first or second half, really. They couldn't move the ball. Aaron Rodgers got outshined by Taylor Heineke. 201, 2 touchdowns, an interception. Taylor Heineke got the win. Look at the ground game numbers. 166 yards by the Washington Commanders. Brian Robinson leading the way, 73 yards. Terry McLaurin finally had himself a good game. 5 catches, 73 yards, and a touchdown. He has that connection with Taylor Heineke. Aaron Rodgers has no connection with any of his wide receivers. The best wide receiver yesterday, Allen Lazard, is a number 3, really at best, on any good football team. On the Chiefs even, who are trying to find their number 1. They think Juju is now, and we've seen him play very well over the last couple weeks. Allen Lazard is a number 3 on any other good team. Aaron Jones is their second leading pass catcher. Dump-off city. We saw that against the 49ers in the NFC divisional round matchup last playoffs. And then Sammy Watkins, who's been on an IR for the last 4 weeks. 2 catches for 36 yards. Aaron Rodgers has no rapport with any of these wide receivers. And I'll give him a little bit of defense. They aren't good wide receivers. There's a reason why Sammy Watkins is on a different team every single year. The reason why Allen Lazard is emerging finally now once pretty much everybody else left. Once MVS left. Once, obviously, Devontae Adams left. And he's having himself an okay year. But this team misses Devontae Adams more than anything. More than this is like the biggest offseason loss really I've ever seen. The Patriots managed with Cam Newton. Tom Brady, obviously the GOAT. They managed with Cam Newton. They won games. They were in playoff contention. I think the Packers are going to have tops 6 wins. They're 3-4 right now. They'll probably end up beating the Lions. They'll beat the Bears again. They're the first place schedule. They got to play some tough teams. Who else on their schedule are they beating from this point on? Matt LaFleur. What does he do? What does Matt LaFleur do? What is his specialty? Other than his hair is perfect every single game. Not a single hair out of place. I keep adjusting my hair. His hair always in the right spot. That's the only thing. Where is he an improvement over Mike McCarthy? I don't like Mike McCarthy. I don't think he's a good coach. He's making it work right now. We'll see if that lasts. How is Matt LaFleur that much of an upgrade over Mike McCarthy? What do they do? What do they do differently? What does Matt LaFleur do better than Mike McCarthy? He continues to draft defense when this offense is in desperate need for just something. We see what the Patriots looked like last week when Tyquan Thornton came back. We'll see what they look like on Monday Night Football. When Tyquan Thornton, who was second round pick, I think. Playmaker, explosive. Was he a first round pick? No. Was he a top 5 receiver taken off the board? No. He's a playmaker though, and he made plays. Who's a playmaker in this offense? Aaron Jones, paid him so much money. Paid him 4-year deal. Gave a running back another contract. 8 carries, 23 yards. 2.9 a carry. Bakhtiari's out. I get it. What team right now has a clean slate of health? How many teams are without their starting quarterback that are in better situations right now? You just lost to a backup. You're Aaron Rodgers, back-to-back MVP, the 2-time. You ain't the 2-time. There's only one 2-time. Back-to-back MVP. Lost to Taylor Heineke. Taylor Heineke was horrible last season. Lost his job to Carson Wentz. Do any of you guys feel good about Carson Wentz? Does anybody feel good about Carson Wentz outside of week 1 and a little bit of week 2? Does anybody feel good about Carson Wentz? Heineke lost his job to Carson Wentz and outperformed the back-to-back MVP. Commanders have a whole set of their own issues to deal with. Their owner, first and foremost, we all know how bad Dan Snyder is. The league is trying to get Dan Snyder out of the league. The league is trying to forcibly remove the Commanders' owner from their team. If that's not a problem, if that's not one of the biggest problems a team can have, I don't know what is. And then you move down the ranks. Ron Rivera. I don't think he's necessarily a good coach anymore. Was he a good coach at one point? Yes. Is he a good coach for what today's NFL is? No. No. A defensive-minded coach who is really just fortunate that he's got some good weapons, but the offense sucks. This is a bad offense, but you have the likes of Brian Robinson, Antonio Gibson, Curtis Samuel, Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson. There are good players in this. J.D. McKissick. There are good players on this offense, but the offense is bad. Bad owner, bad coach, bad offense, bad quarterback. And Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers walked out there and just shrugged their shoulders like Aaron Rodgers does. He rolled his eyes. He said, "What are we doing?" I'm sure he's going to be going back to pointing fingers, looking at the rest of the league, not the rest of his team, not taking responsibility. Rodgers hasn't built a rapport, and we've seen it. Bottom 10 offense in almost every single statistical category, especially reception numbers. And that's what you get. You get a 3-4 team that, are they going to finish with a winning record? I don't think so.